What if there exists a parallel universe on the internet, hidden from the prying eyes of everyday users? Welcome to the shadowy underbelly of the digital world, the dark web. This elusive realm is a part of the internet that remains unindexed by conventional search engines, requiring special software to access. Imagine a vast, uncharted territory, teeming with hidden websites and obscured IP addresses, a digital Wild West where anonymity is king. The dark web's mysterious and clandestine nature lends itself to a myriad of activities, both benign and nefarious. It's a marketplace for illegal goods, a sanctuary for whistleblowers, a playground for hackers, and a platform for free speech in oppressive regimes. Yet within this digital labyrinth there exist tales that chill the blood, stories that transcend the usual dark web narratives. One such story revolves around the infamous Red Rooms. So, are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive with me into the depths of the dark web, where we uncover the chilling tale of the Red Rooms. You might ask, what exactly are these so-called Red Rooms? Well, they're said to be a peculiar and sinister corner of the dark web, a place where the most horrifying acts are supposedly performed and live-streamed for a paying audience. Red Rooms are believed to be platforms that operate in the darkest recesses of the internet, where the boundary between reality and fiction becomes unsettlingly blurred. They're said to be places where people can witness gruesome acts, from torture to even murder, all allegedly happening in real time, and orchestrated according to the whims of the viewers. Yes, you heard it right. The viewers allegedly control the action with their instructions carried out on screen. But here's where things get even murkier. Despite numerous claims and stories, concrete proof of Red Room's existence is elusive. The concept of Red Rooms seems more like a plot of a horror movie, doesn't it? And many argue that's exactly what it is. A terrifying urban legend. A myth that has woven itself into the fabric of internet folklore. Why so? Well, the technological hurdles involved in live streaming such content over the dark web are immense. The dark web, for all its infamy, is not known for its speed or streaming capabilities. Then there's the issue of payment. The anonymous nature of the dark web makes traceable transactions tricky, casting further doubt on the practicality of these supposed Red Rooms. And yet the debate rages on. Some say they've seen them, others dismiss them as pure fiction. The truth, as they say, is likely somewhere in the middle. It's important to remember that while the dark web is home to many illicit activities, it also serves legitimate purposes, and the majority of its users are not involved in any criminal activity. So, let's delve into the story that has sparked countless debates and instilled fear in the hearts of many. Whether Red Rooms are real or not, one thing is certain. They've become a chilling symbol of the dark web's potential for horror and malevolence. Our story begins with an unsuspecting internet user lured by curiosity into the dark corners of the web. Picture this: an ordinary day, an ordinary person with an extraordinary curiosity. Their journey starts with a simple click, a descent into the labyrinth of the dark web. They were unprepared for what they would find. The corners of the internet that lay hidden in shadow. The Red Room. The Red Room, a name that sends shivers down the spines of many, and for good reason. It's here where our unsuspecting user found themselves in a digital den of horror. They were greeted with a chillingly simple interface, a chat box, a live feed, and a donation button. The stark simplicity only adding to the mounting dread. The user looked on as the chat box filled with messages, a chorus of anonymous voices that spoke in hushed whispers and cryptic codes. The anticipation was palpable, a silent countdown that left an icy dread in its wake. Then the live feed flickered into life, revealing a scene so gruesome, so horrifying, it was almost unreal. The room was bathed in an eerie red light, casting long, monstrous shadows on the walls. In the center, a figure obscured by the harsh, unforgiving illumination. The figure seemed to be bound, fear etched across their face. It was a sight that sent a jolt of terror through the user's spine. Then something unthinkable happened. The chat box erupted with messages, commands for the unseen tormentor. The more donations poured in, the more horrifying the commands became. It was a terrifying spectacle, a dance of depravity fueled by the anonymity of the internet. The user could only watch in horror as the commands were carried out, each act more gruesome than the last. They were trapped in a nightmare, unable to look away, unable to escape the horrifying reality of the Red Room. Every scream, every plea for mercy echoed in their mind, a stark reminder of the darkness that lurked in the corners of the web. The user left the Red Room, their heart pounding, their mind reeling from the horrifying spectacle they had witnessed. The once curious explorer was now a haunted witness, forever scarred by the atrocities of the Red Room. They had ventured into the darkness and returned with a tale that would chill even the most hardened internet users. But the most terrifying part of this tale is yet to come. Emerging from the shadows of the Red Room, our protagonist was forever changed. This is an aftermath tale of a journey into the abyss, a journey that leaves an indelible mark on the psyche. In the aftermath of the alleged encounter with the Red Room, our protagonist found himself grappling with a psychological turmoil that went beyond the realm of normalcy. The images he had seen, the sounds he had heard, they clung to his mind like a haunting melody, echoing in the quiet moments of solitude. He was trapped in a paradox, caught between the need to forget and the compulsion to remember. He found himself questioning his own sanity, struggling to distinguish between reality and the nightmarish world he had stumbled into. The fear was a constant companion, not just the fear of what he had seen, but the fear of what might follow. The Red Room was a place of anonymity, a place where identities were hidden behind layers of encryption. But the fear was that he might not be as anonymous as he had thought. The fear was that the operators of the Red Room might track him down, might reach out from the digital shadows to touch his real world. This fear, this paranoia, it changed him. He found himself looking over his shoulder, jumping at shadows, seeing threats in the most innocuous of things. He was a prisoner in his own mind, a captive of his own fear. But this is not just a story of fear and horror, it's also a story of resilience and strength. It's a story of a man who, despite being thrown into the deepest pits of the dark web, managed to claw his way back into the light. He sought help, he sought therapy, he faced his fears, confronted his demons. He refused to let the Red Room define him, refused to let it consume him. He found strength in his struggle, found hope in his despair. But amidst the fear and horror, a glimmer of hope arises. Because this is not just a story of the dark web and its horrific red rooms. It's a story of survival, a story of resilience. It's a story of a man who went into the darkness and came out stronger. It's a story of hope amidst the horror. In the face of fear, truth often emerges as our greatest weapon. Now, let's tackle the skepticism that surrounds the concept of red rooms. The dark web, as we know, is a vast and unregulated part of the internet. It's a breeding ground for illegal activities, and it's easy to believe that anything could happen there. However, when it comes to red rooms, there's a significant lack of concrete evidence supporting their existence. In theory, red rooms are supposed to be live-streamed shows of horrifying acts, yet no one has been able to provide irrefutable proof of their occurrence. The alleged screenshots and videos circulating the internet are often dismissed as hoaxes or clever editing. This skepticism is further fueled by the technical difficulties associated with streaming live video on the dark web. The dark web's infrastructure is not designed for high-bandwidth activities like live streaming. It's slow, unreliable, and not conducive to real-time events. Moreover, the dark web is highly anonymous. The people who use it value their privacy and would likely shy away from a platform that could potentially expose their identities. This goes against the supposed nature of red rooms, which would require a large, interactive audience to function as per the tales. There's also a pragmatic angle to consider. The supposed price of entry to these red rooms is astronomically high. Yet would people really pay huge sums of money for a spectacle that could land them in jail? It seems unlikely. All these factors point towards the possibility that the story of red rooms might be a fabrication or an exaggeration. It's a chilling tale, no doubt, but one that might have been blown out of proportion by the fear and uncertainty that shrouds the dark web. In the end, while the dark web harbors many dangers, the existence of red rooms remains an unproven myth.